Singapore, our role as well as our mandate in driving the growth of the agri-food tech sector in Singapore. And I'll also be providing an overview of the kind of assistance that we offer, be it financial or non-financial, that you can tap on through Enterprise Singapore to help champion your growth. Yeah. So next slide. Yeah, so previously we were from just purely the agri-tech division, but we thought that it might have more synergy if we combine together with our food manufacturing team. So now, we have an even wider network of players in the ecosystem. Next. Yeah, so over here at Enterprise Singapore, what we envision is to be the gateway to Asia through all these different forms. Like, for example, we have a very strong logistical connectivity, as well as an international trading community. Our financial hub is also quite well known, and we have a very highly qualified global ready workforce. And our business business environment here is really very friendly to foreign companies to set up here. And we have a very stable legal and regulatory tax framework. Yeah. So here are some just fancy numbers to make Singapore look good. So, over here in Southeast Asia, we want to use it as a region of growth. So Singapore is actually the 4th largest economy in the world by 2030, just behind US, China, as well as EU. And 99% of our goods traded between ASEAN states are tariff-free. We also project 710 million population size in Southeast Asia by 2030. And we have 10 countries that comprises of in ASEAN, the Associations of Southeast Asian Nations. Yeah. So Singapore, when people think of Singapore, it's really the heart of Asia. We have 27 free trade agreements, economic partnership agreements in force with 65 trading partners. These will help make trading between countries way easier. And so we are also Southeast Asia's most innovative country, according to the Global Innovation Index in 2021. And we are also among the world's top 5 digitally competitive economies, and also Asia's most competitive economy. Yeah. So don't worry, all these slides will be circulated to you guys after this session. Yeah. So over here in Enterprise Singapore, for our corporates, we usually help them to partner Singapore firms as a trusted business partner for their new ventures. So here are some examples of companies that we have worked with. I'm not sure if they may be familiar to you guys, but they are quite well known in Singapore. And also, our corporates are able to leverage on research expertise within our ecosystem to probe technology frontiers. We do have like a government agency that does that supports research funding. It's A*STAR. I'm not sure if you guys heard of that, but A*STAR actually does support funding for companies to do research. And also over here at Enterprise Singapore, we do have grant schemes that support collaborations between Singapore and foreign companies to do like an R&D project. So one event we want to highlight, Singapore is actually home to many world-renowned events, but one of the biggest event that we want to highlight for this year is the Singapore International Agri-Food Week that is coming up on 31st October. So if anyone is visiting Singapore, please feel free to drop by. We do have like a booth especially for Singapore companies. So here we want to share more about our Singapore food story and our goal to build like an international model and enabler of self-sustainable cities. So these are the 3 different things that we're trying to do: a highly productive and resource-efficient agri-food tech hub, a preferred test bedding hub that generate innovative agri-food tech solutions to export to the world, and a socially oriented agriculture and food tech community. Yeah, so over here in Singapore, we want to adopt like a whole of government approach to support companies. So one example is the physical clustering. So we do have this 18-hectare agri-food innovation park in Sungai Kadut. Secondly, we actually allocated 144 million to do R&D in sustainable urban food production, future food and food safety science and innovation. We also want to develop our local champions with a global footprint. So we want to help to grow all these high value added local champions in urban agriculture and aquaculture through financing. And lastly, we have Food Innovate. It's a whole of government approach support for food tech. So we want to equip Singapore-based company with resources to create food for the future through this infrastructure, co-innovation, building a knowledge base, as well as cultivating disruptive technology. Yeah. So a bit more about Enterprise Singapore's background. We used to have two different entities, which is Spring and IE Singapore. So we actually merged back in 2018 because we want to help local enterprises to build their capabilities and become globally competitive. So how we help companies to become globally competitive is that we actually have 36 overseas centers in 21 countries. So, when we have companies coming to us saying that, oh, we want to set up in this country, in that country, but we're not sure how, we actually help to link all these companies up with our foreign colleagues that are based overseas, and the foreign colleagues actually have a very strong network there, and they'll help to do like the link ups as well as like certain facilitations and like maybe administrative details even. Yep, so next slide. Yeah, so I want to deep dive on what I shared earlier just now. So the physical clustering, the 18-hectare one is to deepen commercial and innovation synergies with existing food-related industries to form this, like, according to the map you see here, it's this Northern Agri-Food Corridor. Yeah. And also we are trying to do this, like, I think it will be ready by 2030, hopefully, if there's no more delays. We want to do this 390 hectare of land at Lim Chu Kang. We want to transform the area, that whole land, into this high-tech agri-food cluster under Singapore Food Agency's master plan. So these are the kind of ways we support R&D. So Singapore Food Story actually have this grant call once, like they don't really have a fixed timeline for this, but usually they do a grant call, and we actually allocated 144 million to do this. So this is a collaboration between Singapore Food Agency as well as A*STAR. So it's this research and development grant call in sustainable urban food production. And also we want to develop local champions with a global footprint. How? We actually committed more than 175 million to increase local production and deepen capabilities of agri-tech firms. So Seeds Capital over here is actually our investment arm. So we have appointed like 7 co-investment partners to catalyze more than 90 million into early stage agri-food tech startups. And this is just like an overview of like our current agri-food tech ecosystem. You see how diverse the players are across the value chain. We do have startups all the way until MNCs. So a bit more about the Food Innovate that I mentioned earlier. It's a whole of government platform that helps to support companies with their food innovation efforts. So it's mainly led by Enterprise Singapore. And we do have EDB, A*STAR, JTC, Singapore Food Agency, as well as IPI. So all these actually forms like the different parts. Like, for example, we have A*STAR, which focuses on research, and JTC, which helps to provide like the land, and IPI is for like the tech part, the IP part. Yeah. So how does Food Innovate actually help companies in their food innovation journey? They help to provide like the infrastructure, they help to facilitate innovation, trial new ideas, as well as to help build knowledge base. They help to do like sharing and market access through strategic partnerships with MNCs, IHLs, and RIs. We do have a lot of Institute of Higher Learnings that we're working with, like Temasek Poly, National University of Singapore. Yeah. They also help to drive co-innovation, like establishing platforms to drive industry collaborations and to exchange of ideas, as well as to cultivate more disruptive technology, because we do want to build like a strong and vibrant ecosystem after all. So this is just like an overview of like the entire food ecosystem in Singapore, how we connect. Yeah. So we do actually welcome global partners to help grow our Singapore agri-food tech, be it investors, corporates, or startups and entrepreneurs like yourself. Yeah. So a bit more about the startup scene. Sorry, next slide. We do have like a 1.1 billion worth of deals done in Singapore as of 2021. And as of 2020, we do have 38,000 startups that have set up in Singapore. And there's a rise in venture funding from like 168 deals in 2012 to now like there's more than 400 deals as of 2021. And according to all these different rankings, I know it's a bit outdated 2019, but we wanted to make the number look a bit fancier. So we kept all these numbers, but yeah, we're actually first in Asia in 2019. I'm sure now it's not that far off. We're second in Asia for the Global Innovation Index, and fourth in Asia for global startup ecosystems. And we do have like 4,000 technologies that have been registered in Singapore. So these are just some of the companies we have in Singapore that we are working with. Yeah. So this is how you can leverage on our agri-food tech ecosystem. We do have like expertise to develop startups. As you can see, Grow is one of our accelerators that we are working very closely with. And we do also have like investors such as I'm not sure if you can see like ag funders and whatnot. So you can help to secure investments from we do have 8 agri-food co-investment partners looking to catalyze more than 90 million. So it's a very good market to be in. Yeah, we also do have strong R&D capabilities. As I mentioned earlier, we have all these institutes of higher learning as well as A*STAR and Temasek Life Science Labs and all these other research institutes that you can tap on. And the last one is we do have a very strong MNC present. We help to do like link up between like the MNCs and the startups so they can help to do pilots or trials to fast track maybe like commercialization. And Singapore is the second largest agri-trading hub in the world. We also help our companies access to technologies. We do have IPI. This IPI can help to scout for technologies to fast track the POC innovation. And we also have access to global platforms and events. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Slingshot and Switch. They are actually organized by Enterprise Singapore. So through all these events can help them to, like become more recognized globally. And lastly, we do have 13 Global Innovation Alliance cities to access landing pad programs. So once in a while, we do have like some call for proposal between, let's say, for example, France and Singapore. So how this grant works is we have one company from Singapore and one company from France to collaborate together to work on an R&D, and actually Enterprise Singapore will help to fund this project.
Actually, Iris, if I could add there, just for the benefit of the teams, there is another global call for a grant application for a bilateral project with Innovate UK. It's currently called Net Zero, but luckily for everybody on this call, Agri-Food Tech does sit under here. So if any of you have got any questions about that one, perhaps we can collect them at the end and we can make sure that all of those are answered. But the UK is covered in here as well. Sorry, Iris.
No. Thanks for adding that in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually, how do you get started? To start your business in Singapore is really quite simple. You just need to apply for like a SingPass and Entree Pass, and then ta-da, you have a business in Singapore already. Yeah. So I'm not gonna like go through all these administrative details. When you get the slides, you can see the step-by-step on how do you apply for a business in Singapore. Yeah. So actually, what is unique about Enterprise Singapore is we do have like a suite of financial assistance that we provide to our startups called the Startup SG, Startup Singapore. However, I'm not sure if it may be applicable to the companies here today because our suite of Startup Singapore grants are actually meant for local companies. And by Enterprise Singapore's definition, it's more than 30% local shareholding. So that's how we define like what is local shareholding. But I just thought like maybe I can like share a bit and maybe like entice you guys to get like a 30% local shareholding so you can tap on all these grants. Yeah, but I'll just do a very quick run through.
If your internationalization plans go extra well, we will be covering how to make use of these later on in the program.
So now I'll just share a very quick overview. Yeah. So, we have this Startup SG Founder, where the objective is actually to help to support first-time entrepreneurs to start business.
Sorry, can we ask question now, or would you rather have them later?
How about we wait for later?
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to put it in the chat just so that you don't forget?
So this Startup SG Founder grant is actually provides mentorship as well as financial support. So we do have two different tracks, like the AMP track and the competition track. Maybe when you take a look at this and you have more questions, you can always just reach out to either Rebecca or myself, and I will share more information about this. Yeah. I just wanted to share like a quick overview of the grants that we have. So we have two different tracks. One is for local differentiated startups, and the other is for local global startups exhibiting high potential. So we do actually differentiate the two. And as with money, the higher amount that we give, there's actually more criteria to fulfill. Yeah. Sorry, next slide. So this is a list of our accredited mentor partners. So you see it's quite a wide range of partners. Also in Singapore, we actually create a lot of opportunities for test bedding. We do have this Startup SG Tech grant, up to 250K for POC and 500K for POV. But these grants are quite hard to get because usually we only award to maybe the top 10%, and the tech must be super innovative in a sense, unique. And because this grant is 250K, 500K, it's not on a reimbursement basis. It's just, here you go, 500K. Yeah, we don't have to receipts and all that. We just provide this 500K because we just want to support the companies to scale, and to build their, for example, for the POCs to build their MVP and prototype, and the POVs to help them to commercialize. Yeah. Sorry, next slide. Yeah, so Startup SG Tech is a bit more difficult to get because of all these different criteria that you must have. Yeah. Okay, I think this one might be a bit more relevant to you guys because this is not solely for local companies only. So as I mentioned earlier, Seeds Capital is our investment arm, and they do provide, as part of this scheme, the Singapore government will co-invest with independent qualified third-party investors into eligible startups. But how this works is we do need a ready investor to co-invest with Seeds Capital, because how we function is we do not invest directly into a company without a co-investment partner. There needs to be an independent third party that will go in together. Yeah. And this is just the investment cap as well as the co-investment ratio to take note of.
But there is a list of co-investment partners that some of you will be familiar with, and that's included in the slides as well, right, Iris?
Okay, if it's not,
earlier on,
try and get it for you. But yeah, because the list is actually very extensive. We do have partners from across the different sectors. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is a bit more, may not be very relevant also, but in case you ever become more than 30% local shareholding, we do have this productivity solutions grant. It's actually off-the-shelf solutions for companies to kickstart their technology journey. This is more for helping companies to digitalize. So it's up to 30% per company per financial year, and we support up to 50% of qualifying costs. And for this, there is actually a list of solutions out there. So as long as you want to apply something, it's don't quote me, but it's almost 100% chance you will definitely get the grant. Yeah. And the last one is our market readiness assistance. So as I mentioned, we do have 36 overseas centers. So for this grant is particularly to help our local companies take their first step into internationalization. So we do support 3 different brackets: overseas market promotion capped at 20,000, overseas business development capped at 50,000, and overseas market setup capped at 30,000. And what's so good about this, is that a company has up to $100,000 per market. Every year they can apply to a different market and it's capped at $100,000. But once again, this is applicable to Singapore registered businesses with minimally 30% local shareholding.